Hello cardboard hoarders! I'm AnAngryMushroom and welcome to my series where I'm going to be overviewing binders that are perhaps more niche and alternative to the big mainstream ones. Today I'm overviewing GrinOwl's 4x4 binder, as I have two of them here with me today. That one was completely empty, this one is completely full. They're about 1.5 feet tall and about 2 feet wide when opened. They're 4.5 pounds when empty and about 9 or 10 when completely filled. Their size makes them both difficult to take with you places and also hard to store on shelves, both height-wise and depth-wise. But their size also allows them to store up to 1,216 cards, which for their price point of $40 to $43, depending on the color, black ones are $40, every other color is $43. It actually makes them pretty efficient in terms of a cost to space ratio, as other binders of similar size and quality will often cost about as much but only fit about half as many cards. And you may be wondering what you use all that space for. And to that, I'd say they're really good at if you want to make a National Dex master set where you have every Pokemon in one complete set, basically. Since they store more cards than there are Pokemon currently, it also means that you can store additional forms like Gigantamaxes or Mega Evolutions, for example. And that actually leads me well into my next point, in that some binders, regardless of their size, may have difficulty storing up to their max capacity. However, this one don't really face that much issues in that, other than that there's not much space in terms of, there's not much slack in the cover area. I'm not sure how much of a problem that is, however, it is worth noting, I feel. The covers of the binder feel about what you would expect for a binder of this price point. There is a slight issue where if you put something on top of it, or if you put it on top of something else, it will temporarily dent the binder. However, other than that, it is pretty high quality. The pages feel a little more rubbery than most other binders I've touched. I'm not sure if this is a good or bad thing, but I felt it worth mentioning. The pages themselves do hold cards pretty snugly. I'm not sure how well that comes out on camera, and I haven't had any issues with them sliding out. However, there is an issue with zipper quality control, where the zipper of this one makes a chunky sound and has resistance while closing, whereas this one over here doesn't face such an issue and zips smoothly. There is also no extra zip line at the top of the binders like some other binders have, so it's not possible to zip it completely shut. Other than that, there is some issues with how they ship. They're put in much larger boxes than they actually have, like about this much wide and about this much extra to this side, and about maybe that much taller. And the only thing preventing them from moving around inside the boxes is like a crumpled up cardboard paper, but they don't put enough that prevents it from sliding around completely. I'm not sure how much of an issue that is for most people. I personally found no issues with it because the binders themselves are also stored in an extra plastic sleeve that prevents like scratching. I felt it worth mentioning, but I don't think it's too much of an issue. So overall, if you have like the extra space, or you're working on like a National Dex or something like that, I would recommend these binders. I personally really like them. I personally use them for just storing a load of sets at once because I like having a load of sets in one singular place. Other than that, that'll about do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informational. If you'd like to see more content like this in the future, I hope you'll consider leaving a like, subscribing, and maybe telling me what you think of these binders. And I hope to see you in the next one.